It is not surprising that the minister reported that a large shortfall occurred in customs taxes. This is due to the fraud and the corruption that goes on. Further, we collect only a fraction of the potential tax from the sprawling real estate properties, many of which are owned by political privileged persons. And what is being done about all these revenue losses? In fact, conservative estimates put the total revenue losses through these channels around 7 to 8% of GDP. You remember I mentioned that presently we collect just about 12 to 13% of our GDP, but we are losing 7 to 8% through these leakages. Now, if these leakages were to be plugged, we could add the losses to what we are collecting and raise our tax effort to something like 20-21%, which will be a little bit closer to what our peers, middle-income peers, are doing. But beyond these revenue losses that need to be prevented, the minister could have considered other tax initiatives. First, he could have considered taxing bank profits to help pay for the cost of the banking sector cleanup. Given the interconnectedness within the banking sector, with its potential contagion effects, a case could be made for all banks to contribute to the resolution of the crisis. I would have imposed a banking sector stabilization levy of, say, 10% on the profits of all banks. After all, the banks are making huge profits. We hear them declare, huge profits, a chunk of which comes from net interest income. Reflecting the unjustifiably wide spreads that they maintain between lending and deposit rates. That said, I know that the banks currently pay 5% National Fiscal Stabilization Levy. Now, that is a tax that we feel is difficult to justify, since the destabilization of the economy through fiscal indiscipline that was used to justify the tax could not in any way be blamed on banks. Second, the mining sector is the most booming sector in the economy. This means that more income is accruing to the sector than any other. And it follows that that is where the minister should be looking for more revenue. I would have introduced a 5% tax on the profits of the mining sector to help raise more revenue. Third, the telcos, the telecom companies, are also making super profits, partly as a result of lax regulation of their charges. I would have imposed a tax of 5% on their profits, while strictly regulating their charges so that they do not pass the extra tax onto their customers. In fact, to us, such a tax is more justifiable than the increase in the CST, which is to be borne by customers. Now, the point we are making here is that the minister could have explored new initiatives to mobilize revenue, rather than resorting to a convenient but counterproductive approach of increasing taxes, imposing it on consumers.